Haley, thank you for sharing with us how you spent your community time and um, what all you did to prepare for our vlogs and the information you got. It sounds like you had a very informative experience. I love the idea that you went in kind of open-minded and tried not to ask, too much about the kids before you got there, so you were able to really get a good glimpse of all the different kids that were involved there and pick the one you kind of felt a special, maybe more special connection to or more interest in wanting to pursue, observing them in their time. I too understand that visiting a classroom makes things difficult sometimes because even though we're there to observe, our presence is already such a distraction to the kids, and they usually get my kids. I'm a kindergarten teacher, so I understand when visitors come in how excited my kids get, and how off task how hard it is for them to stay on task when there are other people in the room. I love the conversation piece you brought up about the effects of the, environment and kids' lives kind of outside the classroom, and really how can it affect their learning and their day-to-day education. Um, I have a couple kids that, have a more difficult family life and not a lot of stability, and I see just how dramatically it affects their ability to focus in school and learn, and really take advantage of gaining an education. I love your idea of having small groups with for counselors. I've seen my counselor pull certain kids that might struggle in similar areas and kind of bring them together so they can get a little bit more one-on-one time and more focus. So like you said, it's just a small glimpse of something we could be doing. It's is also easy for us to sit back and let the statistic grow and maybe think there's other people who could solve it or their teachers really should be solving it. But there's so much potential in us as counselors of having that open time and that ability to pull kids out of the classroom and just try and get them extra exposure to each other. I too agree that was interesting that these kids don't speak a lot of English, but their teachers speak only English. It's obviously so much always easier said than done, but with these bilingual kids or kids really learning to learn new English, I agree that it would be helpful to have someone maybe similar in their language, and that might create a little bit more comfort in the classroom for them, to see teachers that are able to speak both and gain that confidence that they will get there, and be able, they have the ability to reach those points in their goals in their education life. Again, thank you so much for sharing, and it seems like you really were able to get a small glimpse into what their classroom life was like.